Hello my friends and welcome back. It's episode 70. We must evacuate from the British Isles. Apparently the only reinforcements are going to come from this window up here. So I guess that's where we need to go at some point. Okay, and let's not do that, because I don't want to I got no I've got no 3H's left. I don't want to waste my prototypes here. Unfortunately, I am out of Panzer 3H prototypes. So I guess it's 3G. It's only slightly inferior. You know what's funny? Well, is it worth it? I could put the repair hero on that and get the 3H's back. The prototypes, I mean. 3 of 12, so there's potentially 9 Panzer 3H prototypes I could gain by moving my repair hero to that. But I mean, to be honest, the 3H is, you know, as nice as it is. As nice as it is, it's only ever so slightly better than the G. God, these IVDs got smashed as well. This is at the wrong strength level. I'm gonna feel that one in the comments. Okay, that's fine. There is a shortcut as well, but it's, you know, it's a bit of a pain. 11 strength. This one is also at the wrong strength level. Should be either 12 or 10. Okay, I lost like 1 Spitfire and 1 Hurricane. I won't cry too hard about that. Now, this is a mission with the Navy, so since it's a mission with Navy, we won't pull out my new, or I should say my replacement Donner Does, because while they are superior against infantry and ground targets, they are actually inferior against shipping. I think 2 strat bombers and 2 tacticals is probably plenty. Okay, so my biggest issue here is this unit is actually maxed out experience-wise, but it hasn't got Steamroller yet, and this one is got Steamroller but has poor experience. So basically all of these tanks, I kind of need to just keep deploying them because they're missing something. They're either missing their experience or they're missing their Steamroller. It would be nice to train up more tanks, as I have a whole selection of vehicles. It's amazing how good this tank still is. I don't really need it. I don't really need to use it, but it is great. I even have quite the selection of leveled up infantry now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, plus the 2 currently deployed. I have like 10 high experience infantry squads. You know, it's, as I said before, I think this is a relatively simple mission, so I'm going to use the time to talk about other things. As I said before, you know, the campaign is not always going to be sunshine and roses. The early phases of the war, pretty much a steamroll for Germany. And the missions and such are going to reflect that. You want to be building up resources for the long haul. Especially recon cars. Recon cars with steamroller are going to be pretty important. Simply because they're just a total pain in the ass to keep alive. I've only lost 1 core unit the whole campaign, or maybe 2, and I think both of them were recon cars. So, you know, that's something else to consider. Right, what hero did we receive? Oh yes, first strike. Very cool. And that's ideal actually for this. I really wanted to get this guy going. He's still got quite a bit of kills to get before he's gonna level up. Tank killer, aggressive counterattack. Let's take Ignores Entrenchment off and put First Strike on. Keep Double Strike on him. Let's put Ignores Entrenchment on a fighter, on a tactical. Tacticals really do benefit a lot from Ignores Entrenchment. Well, I mean, anything benefits from Ignores Entrenchment. Because it's a really good stat. Having it built in is definitely nice. Interestingly, it does make the good argument for the Flamwaffle. Okay, you know what's interesting is the Flame Tank's anti-infantry, anti-tank stat is pretty poor. But with Tank Killer, it comes up by 5, meaning that this the Flame Tank could still compete against tanks pretty solidly. Then it would have an anti-tank of 14, which is not too bad. The benefit is that you would gain Ignores Entrenchment. Of course, the other issue is that there's you only get 3 shots. Yeah, having Double Strike and only 3 ammunition is pretty bad, actually. Thinking about it. Right, we have to cut 9 core slots. This maxed out artillery, I think we can just put that to one side for sure. It's got Steamroller, it's got 3.5 stars of experience. There's no need to bring it out. It's pretty maxed out. I don't know how difficult this mission is going to be, but I'm just going to presume that it's going to be a lot easier than the last 2. There's only 16 turns. It's just a mission where you run away, supposedly. Okay, so where else do we make cuts? Probably don't need all this anti-air. And once again, these anti-aircraft guns are maxed out. They're only worth 1 slot each. Do I actually have any anti-aircraft guns that need training? Not really. I have this one, which is a non-steamroller one, which I should probably convert to a tank at some point and start training. In fact, I'm going to do that now. We can send it back the other direction in the future. I'm not so worried about losing the experience. It's just that they've, you know, they've obtained kills. So you can see here, it's gained quite a number of kills. It's the awards that I'm worried about, not the 10 support provided. It's the awards that I'm worried about, it's not really the experience stars. Because with the heroes I've got, bringing up experience is actually quite easy. You lose 2 stars of experience from migrating units. It almost makes me think to myself that I should migrate all my stuff. Everything that's worth migrating, I should migrate now. And adopt a policy that all new units will start life as a tank. That actually strikes me as a great idea. Maybe I'm a bit late in the day doing this, but with aircraft, of course, there's no real cross-class possibilities with them. I suppose in theory you could start all of your aircraft as tacticals, as like fighter tacticals, and then you could train them in soft, hard, and anti-air simultaneously. But, you know, say you max out aerial ace with your fighters, which I think I have got one that's got maxed out. I think I've got one that's maxed out aerial ace. But it ain't that one. Or that one. I definitely have one fighter that's maxed out with aerial ace. I thought so. Maybe not. Maybe they're all level 2. But the point is that, you know, you max it out and then you could cross-class to a tactical, but how useful is +3 air attack on a tactical, for example? It can't attack air directly, so it's only going to see use when that tactical's defending itself, unless it's a fighter bomber. At least the anti-aircraft guns I'm going to cross-class across to tanks. I'm going to make the efforts to do that now, because My anti-aircraft reserve is my dumping ground for has this seen action? Yes, okay, fine. My anti-aircraft my anti-aircraft reserve is my dumping ground for my prestige. Protected from vicious taxmen. Okay, I don't know how many kills that this thing ever got, but we'll have plenty more tanks to train up. What I will do is I will leave the experienced artillery where it is for now. Because just because they used to be anti-aircraft guns doesn't mean that they have to become anti-aircraft guns again in the future. So once I put steamroller on them, I could, in theory, just transfer them back as artillery or anti-air, whatever I require. I might, you know, these portable artillery and these lighter artilleries, I might need them for defensive engagements where I can just pile more experience and kills onto them. I think in the future there are anti-tank guns that come with overrun as well. But that's far, far away. That's probably 1943, 44 era when that starts happening. Okay, so we know that all of these tanks have joined us. Even though they have 0 experience. They've joined us from being other units and they've brought along their kills. So just have to remember to not buy any tanks ever, but train up the ones that I have. But I have so many units to train up that I don't think that there will be a... I've seen some light action. I don't think that there'll ever be a point where 0, 0, 0, 0. This unit has never seen battle. Oh. Okay, alright. That's a good little bit of tidying. We had some time. Makes sense to do a little bit of accounting. So yeah, I'll leave the artillery exactly where it is for now. All the anti-aircraft guns that have seen action have now become tanks, so we can train them up in the future. But right now, every tank that is deployed here requires some training. Either experience or... it needs either experience or it needs to gain steamroller. Of course, that said, if I wanted to move units, if I wanted to move these to other classes like recon or anti-air or artillery, it feels like a waste because it costs you two stars of experience to go across, which means that this would be totally wiped out, of course. But the point is that any experience past 2 stars would be kept. So it almost makes sense to train them a bit more, and then at least you would keep the experience as you went across. You would at least keep some experience as you went across. Right, I need to make a cut. And I guess this tank will be fine. Okay. All of these tanks need, like, no one's got maxed out. No one's got maxed out anti-infantry, for example, or anti-tank. This is such a good award, and it's so hard to get. Got some spare heroes from that artillery. Aim assistance, good for something with low experience. Actually, he's already got he's got leadership, which does the same thing. Would gain experience. Artillery support. How many steamrolls does this tank require? The farming is real. Only 5. Okay. I can't trade the KVs out at the moment as well, in case you're wondering. Because I need them to be fully repaired. No, I don't want to lose any. Okay, this guy's got fast learner. Now if I add aim assistance to him, then he'll grow way quicker. Oh, he needs a huge amount of steamrolls as well. I should make this. I should give this tank a mark so I know that this is the one that I should try and feed my steamrolls to. Let's go with. Do you know blue is the colour of training in the British Army? If ordnance is blue, it means it's for training purposes or for target practice. Let's go. The blue tank. It's a training tank. That's a joke that's going to be funny to about 3 veterans watching this. Okay, and we'll just put these junk heroes on here. Oops, I just misclicked. Who did I just steal hit and run from? My infantry. Okay, alright. Let's get deployed. As these infantry have got a while to go before they're leveled up. Infantry is quite slow to level, and you can't cross-class it either, which is kind of annoying. But what can you do? Let's put 1 KV down here and 1 KV up here on the road. I'll sweep across the map like an angry wave. Yeah, let's just carry on leveling these guys up. Training tank right in the middle. I love that blue colour actually. It's quite a nice colour. These recon bikes are nearly maxed out. Another 1000 DXP, they'll be good to go. If I get these to 3.5 star, I can transfer them into tanks and still have 1.5 star experience left, which is quite nice. This grand campaign, I have learned a lot. I think I've learned a huge amount And had I had my time again, I would have, back in the Spanish Civil War, I might have farmed a little bit less prestige. And just run loads and loads and loads of tanks. Loads and loads of tanks. To just farm steamroll. Okay. No Bar in his Hurricane and Galland in his Spitfire. Galland must be so happy, because historically all he wanted to do was fly planes and shoot people down. That was his passion in life. He didn't even really want to kill people as such. I mean, the fighters, they typically tried to actually, you know, wound each other's planes enough so that the other guy jumped out. It was almost unheard of that anybody would shoot down a guy who is, you know, parachuting. Which is why it was so shocking to Westerners when the Japanese did it. Because if you parachuted out of your plane and you were fighting the Japanese, they'd come back after you. They'd strafe your parachute and try and make sure that they actually killed you. Which led to an incident which I'm not sure whether it's true or not. But apparently, it might have been an American or a Brit, I can't remember, but his plane was crippled and he jumped, and you know, he was out of the battle, so he was basically, you know, parachuting down, and Japanese Zero plane was lining him up to strafe him, and he pulled out his handgun and shot the pilot dead. Because the guy was coming, like, because it's really hard to hit such a tiny target, so the plane was coming low and slow directly at him, so he pulled out his sidearm and just started shooting at the pilot, and he hit him in the face. Killed him. Which is kind of karmic punishment for shooting what has become a non-combatant. Effectively a non-combatant. Right, that's enough distractions. You guys have all seen this kind of deployment before. Pretty standard deployment. Slower units in the front, faster units in the back or on the roads, so that everyone can sweep together on the first turn and form a nice neat line for me. Which is why the recon bikes are kind of back here, because you just genuinely, you don't want them to get too far ahead of your actual units. Standard aircraft deployment, fighters in the center, bombers in the front, and then recon planes behind. That kind of deployment is not so important now that your range is not affected by which tile you're in. They fixed that, but it does still matter that your fighter is in the center, obviously. Yep, pretty standard. Not much more to say because it's just, you know, it's just an open map. So, because it's an open map, there isn't much to say about it tactically until we send our recon planes out and find out where the enemy is. You know, if there's a big horde of infantry here, for example, then suddenly my strategy is going to change totally, and I'm going to be like realigning my units along this clear area to deal with them. If there's nothing there, well, there's one of these sealed off zones here, so expect stupid reinforcements. If there's nothing there at all, then it's, you know, then we just plow down the center towards the objectives. Or we plow to the left towards this objective. It's, you know, as always, you've just got to adapt. These subs are going to need support, most likely. So I'm going to presume that some high-speed movement down here to get these airports this supply airport is probably expected. Okay, that's it for now. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys next time.